even more determination than before. When they reached the island, Garrick steered the boat to a small beach at the south end, hopped out, and pushed the dugout onto the shore. Corey climbed out of the boat, and together, they moved into the forest. A narrow, worn path, one they had taken before, wound among the maples, oaks, and aspens, climbing steeply away from the beach before leveling off several hundred feet into the woods. Sunlight slanted through the trees and smoke like mist, casting shafts of alternating light and shadow. The drumming of a woodpecker echoed through the woods, and a thrush sang from a hidden perch. Garrick and Corey searched the lush floor of the wood for the tiny, velvet blue shan leaves for which they had come. It grew as a vine, low to the ground, snaking inconspicuously among the leaf litter and other shrubs. But Garrick had learned long ago to discern its sweet, cool fragrance amid the musty smells of loam and moss and new growth. Many in western Tobyn-Ser used the dried leaves as a seasoning. Some chewed shan as they found it. Healers coveted the herb for its restorative properties, either as a draught or in poultices. In all forms, it was a precious market item. Garrick planned to trade most of what they found this morning with an Aborigine trader who had promised in return to deliver several yards of a fabric Shayla had admired. They could never have afforded such material on what they earned from Garrick's fishing and Shayla's basketry. Garrick had told Shayla as much. But with this shan, Garrick couldn't wait to see the expression on her face. He and Corey crept through the forest, filling their sacks with leaves, the boy covering the area to the right of the path, Garrick harvesting leaves to the left. After nearly an hour, Garrick returned to the trail and called to his son. "How are you doing, Corey?" "Fine," the boy called back. Moments later, he stood in front of Garrick, breathless, cheeks flushed. "Look how much I got." He opened his sack, which was fat with blue leaves. The aroma enveloped them. "Well done," Garrick said. "But let's leave a few for next time, all right?" Corey nodded. "I'm hungry anyway." "Again?" Garrick asked, pretending to be amazed. The boy nodded, laughed. The two of them started back toward the boat. They had only taken a few steps, however, when Garrick heard something behind them. He turned and saw, through the branches and mist, a distant figure, walking among the trees, approaching. The stranger was tall and lean, and carried himself with an easy grace. He wore a hooded cloak of deep forest green, and carried a long staff on top of which was mounted a glowing crimson stone. On his shoulder sat a great, dark bird. Garrick's pulse quickened, as it always did when he saw one of Amarid's children. He marveled that even now, as a grown man with a 5-year-old son, the sight of a mage could affect him so. "What is it, Papa?" It took Garrick a breath to find his voice. "It's a child of Amarid," he said, still gazing at the approaching figure. He didn't recognize the man, and he had never seen a hawk or owl as large or as dark as the one this mage carried. "Is it Master Nile?" Corey asked, excitement in his voice. "I can't see him." Garrick picked up his son and pointed. "See? There he is. I don't think it's Nile, not unless he's gotten a new bird." "You mean it's another one?" Corey asked, his eyes widening. "Is this one a hawk mage or an owl mage?" "Hawk mage or owl master," Garrick corrected. Looking back at the mage who was drawing closer, he shrugged. "I'm not sure." He still didn't recognize the bird on the figure's shoulder, though that meant little. Garrick knew next to nothing about the hawks and owls to which the children of Amarid bound themselves, and from which, it was said, they drew their powers and healing abilities. He knew Amarid's hawk, as most did, and he could distinguish a hawk from an owl, but that was all. He did know, however, how unusual it